What up, tubers, and welcome back to another early access sealed here on Arena. Thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to check out cardkingdom.com/Numot for all your Magic card needs. Lorwyn Eclipsed early access, so this is sealed to prep you for your pre-release events and whatnot. We'll get some drafts starting probably next week when the event fully releases for everybody on January 20th. But this is an early access event, so just the people invited for it. Let's see what we can do with our sealed pool here. I did one sealed earlier today on stream, and I forced 5-color Vivid. It was very fun. Ooh, we've got a lot of... oh, maybe not a lot of, but a few elementals here. I had Ashling in my first sealed, and this card was very nice. Anyways, let's go through them all. Champion of the Path, 7/3. Elemental for 4. As an additional cost, behold an elemental and exile it. So behold is the new champion mechanic. If you remember from like original Lorwyn, champion was a thing. You would have to exile a creature of the same type, and it would come back after the other creature left. This one is... so beholding doesn't necessarily have to exile the creature. This one does, but you can do it from your hand or from the battlefield. Whenever another elemental you control enters, it deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. When this creature leaves the battlefield, return the exiled card. So I think this format in sealed for your pre-releases is going to be quite a bit different generally than draft, right? Draft, you can find yourself one of the lanes, you know, elemental, merfolk, kithkin, elf, whatever, goblin. In sealed, you kind of just got to roll with what you get, so you're not going to get a lot of those good synergies a lot of the time. Tristan, 3 mana, 3/4 Death Touch. When it enters or transforms, mill 3. Then if there's an elf in your graveyard, you gain 2. Beginning of your first main, you may pay a black. If you do, you transform it. When this creature transforms, you mill 3 again. Then you can exile an elf from your graveyard. If you do, each opponent loses 2. Okay, kind of neat. So the elf theme in the format, a lot of it has to do based on graveyard, if you haven't noticed already. Here's the Ashling, another one of these flip cards. So they have an ability when they enter, and then during your first main phase, you can transform them in some way. The transform has an ability, and then they can transform back as well. So remember, you play Ashling on turn, or you play Ashling, it triggers to Rummage here. But you cannot transform it on the first turn that you play it, because it happens. That trigger happens at the beginning of your first main phase. Yeah, Ashling was really good for me. The transform allowing you to cast expensive spells early was quite good. Champions of the Shoal. Here's another here's another Behold card. This is the Merfolk version. 4 mana, 4/6. Whenever this creature enters or becomes tapped, tap up to 1 target creature and put a stun counter on it. And then when it leaves, you return the exiled card. So that one's really good if you have enough Merfolk. Here's a great Merfolk. 3 mana, 3/4. Other tapped creatures you control have indestructible, which means you can just attack with any of your other creatures. And as soon as they're declared as attackers, assuming they don't have vigilance, they're tapped, they're indestructible. Pretty good. Sonar Innovative First Year. 4 mana, 2/4. This is a goblin with Vivid. Beginning of your first main phase, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal X non-land cards, where X is the number of colors among permanents you control. So presumably you're going to have at least 2, because Sonar is both red and blue. For each of those colors, you may exile a card of that color from among the revealed cards, then shuffle. You may cast the cards this turn. Ooh. That one's a little bit risky if you're playing too many colors. And it can't hit lands. So say I have just Sonar on the battlefield. It triggers for red and blue. You may exile a card of that color. So I could cast a red or a blue card. Or a red and a blue card. But yeah, can't do lands off of Sonar there. Marilyn Fey Ascendant. Marilyn's back, this time a lot larger. 4/5 flying elf fairy noble. When Marilyn or another elf or fairy you control enters, exile the top 2 cards of target opponent's library. Oh, very cool. Once each turn, you may cast a spell with mana value less than or equal to the number of elves and fairies you control. from among cards exiled with Marilyn this turn without paying its... Wow, that's really nice. Number of elves and fairies. So, because Marilyn is an elf fairy, does that mean you can immediately cast something for 2 or less? The number of elves and fairies. I would imagine that's part of the thing. In any case, let's get to deck building. Disclaimer, as always, for these early access event, I'm not looking to build the very best deck I can. I'm not going to spend a ton of time in deck building. I'll spend a bit of time. Really, I'm just looking to play the matches and get experience with the cards. I'll go over some of the ones that I've seen that are good so far. For example, Personify. So exile a creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under owner's control. You make a 1/1 colorless shapeshifter token with Changeling. Very good from my experience. A lot of good ETBs. Can be used as a protection effect, and you get a 1/1 to boot. This is just a pacifism with some upside. We haven't seen Blight yet, or rather, I didn't see Blight on any of my rares I opened. Blight is generally like a red-black mechanic, and what it is you put a 1/1 counter, or X 1/1 counters rather, on a single creature you control. Depending on whatever the blight is. So for this one, for example, is Blight 1. There are larger blight effects. And then usually you get some benefit. There are also a lot of synergies to putting 1/1 counters, -1/-1 counters on your creatures. Maybe we can see a few of those later. What is this one? Moonlit Lamenter. 3 mana 2/5, but it enters with a 1/1 counter. Remove a counter from it, draw a card. Yeah, for example, this is an insane creature, actually, to load up Blight onto, right? So it's a 3 mana 1/4 at its base. Yeah, you can pay 2 to make it a 2/5 and draw a card. And then if you have other ways to Blight onto this, you can just turn this into a huge card advantage machine. Cool. Very nice. Haven't seen that one before. Destroy an attacking or blocking creature with Convoke. Convoke's back. So remember, Convoke allows you to pay for spells by help paying for spells by tapping your creatures, and you can even pay for the color requirements. So if you tap a white creature and 2 random other creatures, you can play this without any mana. So I guess white has quite a few 1/1/-1 counter synergies. I guess I didn't realize that. So 3 mana 4/4. But it enters with 2 -1/-1 counters. And then whenever another creature you control enters, remove a 1/1 counter. Okay, so that thing just gets big very quickly. Bloombind, solid removal spell for blue. Can hose some decks, right? Rather, Blossom Blind, not Bloom Blind. You can put this on one of their creatures and it becomes tapped and they can no longer put counters on it. So, nice way to beat up on the Blight synergies. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and is a colorless Noggle with base power and toughness 1/1. That's a good removal spell. Instantly kills anything with a Blight counter on it, notably. Runaway is a reprint. Let's see, what is this? Whenever this becomes tapped, you make a 1/1 flyer. If you remember, in old Lorwyn, Merfolk had a tap mechanic in the set, and that has held true here. So if you have ways to tap your creature without getting into combat, like I would imagine this Pestered Wellguard is going to be a very annoying 4-drop. Convoke, for example, is a good way to pay for the tapping. Let's look for some more good uncommons. Let's see, cheap removal spell for a small creature. Here's another creature that's really good with your own blight effects. 3 mana 3/4 that enters with 2 -1/-1 counters, so a 1/2 when it enters. But then you can pay 3 and remove 2 counters to give something -2/-2 until end of turn. Very nice. I have 3 of these things. Whenever this enters or attacks, you may blight 2. If you do, you draw a card and lose 1 life. Interesting. What is this one? Additional cost, behold an elemental or pay 2. Target creature control gains trample until end of turn. If this is the third time this ability is rolled, you add 4. Oh, okay, so this is a callback to the Flame Bright, Wave Bright Flamekin, some Soulfire Flamekin. That sounds right. Soulfire Flamekin, or it might have been Soul Bright Flamekin. Anyways, yeah, kind of a cool one. Can act as a little bit of ramp if you can dump 3 mana into it at first. It can give you 4 red. The trample is not irrelevant, and it can often just be a 1 mana 2/1. Not terrible. What is this? 2 damage to any target and 1 damage to any other target. That's good. For 2 mana. Cool. Tweeze is a funny card. Look at that art. 3 mana, instant, 3 damage to any target, and then you can discard a card and draw a card. What else? What is this uncommon? Squawk Roaster, 4 mana, double striker, powered equal in number of colors among permanents you control. Okay, so this is another one of those vivid payoff cards. It's always a 1/4 at its base because it's red. But yeah, as long as you have at least 2 different colors, that card is kind of spicy. Apparently, there are only 2 land cyclers in the format, blue and black, or blue and red, from what people have told me. Which is kind of weird, but it is what it is. When this enters, destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment. That's not bad. Chomping Changeling. It's just Rexage. A 1/2 Rexage. Not many uncommons in our green. 6 mana, 6/6 trample. When it enters up to X target creatures you control get XX until end of turn where X is the number. Oh, that's kind of neat. Oh yeah, that's a great top end for green. Very nice. Costs 1 less for each color among permanents, so in the ideal world, you can cast this for a green and 1. It's a 6/5 reach trample. But once you get even 2 different colors of permanents on the battlefield, 5 mana for a 6/5 reach trample is a decent rate, and anything under 5 is just above. Reaping Willow's cool. Some more -1/-1 synergies. The Eclipsed cards are the new Harbingers. So there's 1 of every type of creature, I guess, typal creature in this format. So elementals and elves and whatnot. Instead of tutoring and putting a card on top, they look at the top 4 cards. But you can also hit a land, and they put them in hand. Kind of neato. What else do we get? Got an Elf Lord that gets value when another elf dies. 5 mana, 6/7. Enters with 2 -1/-1 counters, so a 4/5. Remove a counter from it. Another target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains flying until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. That's good. Glister Baron. Oh, this is a different type of Baron. Beginning of combat on your turn, another target creature you control gets +X/+X, where X is the number of colors. Okay. Interesting. So it's always a +2/+2 while it's on the battlefield and maybe more. It's quite the cost for a 1/4, but it's kind of neat. This is Elemental Elf, Fairy, Giant, Goblin, Kithkin, Merfolk, Treefolk. 3 Evolving Wilds in my pool. Dawn Blessed Pennant. Probably not what you want to be doing in Sealed. This is one of my favorite cards. I imagine I'm going to be drafting this card quite a bit. It's a 3 mana colorless shapeshifter, changeling. That when it enters, you search the library for a basic land and put it in your hand. Those are always good. This is a 5/5. Sorry, 5 mana 3/3 flying. Enters, exile up to 2 cards from graveyard. You gain 3. That's not bad. All right, well, every deck is going to start like that right there, changeling. So what did we want to... I mean, what did I see? What were my rares again? We had the double Ashling. We had the Sonar. Do we have enough elementals to maybe just try to do an elemental build? 2 mana, 1/3. When it dies, draw a card. Oh, the Prime Prisma Basher is also an elemental. Just looking for cool things to do here in our first sealed pool. I guess Maryland's really cool. How many elves do I have? Elf, and the other one is what, fairy? Not many fairies. I feel like Maryland's probably the best card in my pool. So I want to try to play that. Maybe I can go like Elemental with Maryland Splash. Oh, I guess there's benefit to doing this too. What is this one? Kill a creature with flying, kill an enchantment, or make a 2/2 elf. That's not bad. Green, black. Green, black, splashing blue, but then I lose out on the Ashlings. And maybe the Ashlings aren't that good. Okay, well, let's look at green, black, blue. That's good. That's good. Run away together might run one. Merfolk. If I have enough Merfolk, this is real good. Or Changelings, I guess, too. Owner of target non-land permanent puts into their library second from the top or bottom, but it has Convoke. That's decent. This becomes tap target creature and opponent control. It gets -3/-0 until end of turn. Maybe. Draw 3, discard a card with Convoke instant. This one's really good too. 7 mana, but it's a kindred sorcery, so it counts as a merfolk. With Convoke, return 1 or 2 non-land permanents to the owner's hands. Then if you control a merfolk, you make a 1/1 white and blue merfolk for each permanent returned to its owner's hand this way. Yeah, card's decent. Oh, I guess my black has good removal, doesn't it? Beginning of your first main phase, you blight 2. If you don't, you lose 3 life. Oh, you may blight 2. It's a 4 mana 6/6? That's pretty aggressive. Could be doing some black, blue, splashing green here. I don't like this card. 2 mana 2/3, but you have to behold an elf or pay 2. Adds 2 green if there's an elf in your graveyard. I was saying this on stream today, but look at the neck on this guy. What is going on? I was making the joke that this should not be a 3/3 trample. This should be a 3/3 reach. Look at that thing. It's like brrr. That neck is out there. Exile this card from your graveyard, make a 2/2. It's a 5 mana 5/4. That's not that bad. Reaping Willow's real good, but if I'm not playing black at the main, I can't really play that. Okay, well, I guess, what are we doing? Champions of the Shoal. How many merfolk or shapeshifters? I do not have enough for this card. So it might be blue. That's my worst. So just green, black, splash Maryland, perhaps? which means we might be able to get some more colorless cards in here, or rather green or black cards in here. I guess I have 3 Evolving Wilds, though. Not sure if this card's that good. Anyways, I'm spending too much time on this. Let's just quickly put a couple more cards in and let's go play some games. Yeah, maybe I splash for the blue removal. It's probably fine. Okay, to hell with it. Let's go game. Early access sealed. Do some Sultai Elves with Marilyn on the top end. I do not have an elf, so I cannot play that on turn 2. Keep it though. Oh, Marilyn's an elf. Right? Yeah, elf fairy. Look at me, I'm Boros already. So this is Flash Enchantment. Trample Indestructible. Oh wait, why did I read this as +2/+2? This is +2/+0. And I guess I don't have that many other playables, so. 3 mana 3/3, beginning of end step. If another creature entered the battlefield under your control this turn, surveil 1. Okay. Blight 1 or pay 3, exile a creature. Additional cost, you may blight 1. Destroy target creature with mana value 2 or less if the spell's additional cost was paid. You gain 3 life. Okay. These are all sorceries? No, this one's an instant. Kithkin, Citizen. This one's a changeling, so it's all creature types. Alright, we're gonna go for it. Yum, 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 yum. 4/2 changeling, okay. When this enters or transforms, mill 3, then if there's an elf in your graveyard, you gain 2 at the beginning. Yeah, so if we mill an elf here, then our dignitary can add a couple mana. We did not mill an elf. What did I mill? Oh, I milled my Prisma Basher. Create a token that's a copy of target creature you control, except it has haste, and at the beginning of the end step, sack this token. Oh, weird. Is that good? Usually this type of clone effect is not that good, but that's a flashback. But you have to behold 3? You can probably do some really cool stuff with that in draft. Alright, so if I pay a black, he's going to transform and mill 3. But I don't want to do that because I just want to slam down the Marilyn here and hope that we hit something. We hit Bray and whatever this thing is. 4 mana, 4/3 trample. When it enters, make a treasure. Oh, I generally like this type of creature. This is some relative of Brian or Brion or whatever. Okay, so now we'll flip. Did not mill an elf. We can play this. Mill 2 more cards, but also trigger our Marilyn. Oh, and we hit 2 lands this time. Wow, how unlucky can you get? I don't know if there's a way to blow up an attacking creature, so I'm not going to attack Marilyn into anything. There's probably some white wrath in the format too, but whatever. What happens if I mill? I gain 2 life. Sure, he's always a 3/4 death touch. Damn, I've milled 3 lands! Yeah, I don't think I need to do anything here. We're obviously just going to win with Marilyn if nothing changes. Okay, Marilyn, while it didn't do anything for us, still a very good card. It's a 4/5 flyer at the base. What else does it do? Oh, for some reason I thought it also had Death Touch, but yeah, then the trigger thing. How many elves and fairies do I have? 8 elves, 1 fairy, and 2 shapeshifters, so... what is that, 12 of my creatures? 13. 13 of my 15 creatures trigger Marilyn. That's sick. Very cool. I'm not actually sure. Is there any, or are there any seeded packs for sealed? I don't think there are this time. Okay, this is good. Oh wait, why is this in my deck? Did I not have a better play than that card? I probably should be playing a different blue card instead of this 1/1. Maybe? Maybe I just run this thing? Yeah, I mean, it can trade with a 2 toughness creature, but no synergy in my deck, really. Oh, I guess I have some blight effects. 2 mana, 1/1 flash flying. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose a life and make a fairy. Oh, cool. That's the card everybody's talking about. The Bitter Blossom Maker. Or rather, the Bitter Blossom creature. That card's awesome. Bitter Bloom Bearer. Glamourmite. Oh, that's the... Okay. So flash something in. Tap my Dignitary. Sure. To trade if they block, we're okay with that. Safe Right Cavalry. 4/4 for 4. Elf Warrior. Can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. And then... Oh, it's target elf, not even itself. So target elf you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Yeah. Not a bad card. Oh, I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video, like all of my early access events, I might end this sealed early, even if we're, say, like 5-0, just so that I have the chance to record more content. They didn't block. Do I want to hold open protection? No, I think I'm just going to pump. Oh, wait, of course they didn't block. I have the pump ability. Derp. In fact, maybe what I should have done, if I don't play the land pre-combat, then I'm not holding up the pump ability. What the hell is this thing? Oh my god, this thing's absurd. Oh, if you're paying attention, you'll notice the board is actually changing based on life totals and whatnot. Oh, I did not mill an elf. You'll see how when I was ahead, this portion of the board was moving. But this card is sicko. 9 mana, 5/5 flying, but X less, where X is the greatest mana value among elementals. So, since they had the changeling that cost 4, right? That reduced their Sunderflock by 4. Great Changeling Gravedigger. Also very cool. Aw, guy's kind of sad looking. Not trading for my lifelinker. I mean, 5/5 flying is going to kill me very quickly. 2 mana, 2/1 flying. Whenever you cast a spell during an opponent's turn, surveil 2. That card's good. Fairies has some theme of casting stuff on the opponent's turn, kind of just like the old fairies. And they do have... Man, they have a lot of good cards. Sheesh. Another Glamourmite. So I need to find something here. Because I assume they're going to tap my lifelinker. Oh, okay, they didn't. Oh, I might have a... That was a very good draw. Alright, so we get to Wayfinder for an island. And then Blossom Bind their 5/5 so it doesn't untap. Ooh, that's scary. They are blocking with their flyer and not their changeling. That's really scary. What does this do again? Up to X creatures get XX, where X is the number of colors. So I'm going to have green and blue permanents because I have the Blossom Bind on their creature. So this is going to... Oh wait, they don't gain trample though. This has trample. Oh. That's a little bit worse. Still solid, but not exactly what I thought was going to happen. Chitinous Graspling. Yeah, a 4-mana 3/4 reach, I would say, is a little bit understated these days. But... Oh no! They had a Auntie's Sentence to make me discard. They're attacking for 4. Okay. Oh, do I win? Oh no, that doesn't win. It was a very good draw, though. They have to block, so They're gonna chump the 4/3. Because if they don't block, they take 5, and then they lose 1 from the... Oh! My opponent just threw the game. Alright. GG's. Probably didn't matter, since we'd have Embrace for anything problematic anyway, but... Remember, this is early access. The mistakes are going to be plentiful from me and my opponents. I want to show off a card here. I was... So as a part of the ambassador program for Lorwyn Eclipsed, they sent me some collector boosters to open, and I opened this thing. Some crazy Pokemon-looking Spine Rock Tyrant. Apparently, like, this is one of the rare cards you're looking for. There are also serialized cards in the collector boosters. Nothing like the One Ring or whatever, but apparently some cool stuff you can get. Okay. I will keep this hand. It is not a great hand. Oh, shoot. I keep forgetting to cut that dang 1/1 out of my deck. And replacing it with that other elf. So let's go grab Island with Evolving on our first turn here. Red-black is what? Goblins slash blight things. But in your sealed pools, you kind of just got to play with what you got. Sealed is almost always just about building your deck with the strongest cards in it, whether that require you to play more than 2 colors, or regardless of whether that makes you play more than 2 colors. Moonglove Extractor. When this attacks, you draw a card and lose 1 life. Oh. Those type of cards are always extremely annoying. Like, if my opponent just kills my Tristan now, then they get to attack and draw a card, you know? What did I mill? Oh, I milled 2 removal spells! People are always scared about milling themselves, but it's all random anyways. You know, somebody named Moonglove Extractor, you would think they had Death Touch, because a lot of the old school Moonglove creatures from like Lorwyn and Morningtide and whatever, they did have Death Touch. I mean, I'm not going to not block. You got it, you got it. Oh, Shadow Urchin. This is another callback card. So whenever this attacks, you have to blight 1, and whenever a creature you control with 1 or more counters on it dies, exile that many cards from the top of your library until your next end step. You may play those cards. So, what was it called? Like Spiked Urchin or something? There was a 3-mana... Oh, Dusk Urchin, I think, maybe. Dusk Urchin. There was a 3-mana 4/3 in... I think it was Shadowmoor. That drew cards equal to the number of 1/1 counters it had when it died, and I think it put 1/1 counters on itself when it attacked or something. Shadow Urchin. Yeah, anyway, a lot of cool callbacks in this format. Let's see. I'm going to flip Tristan next turn, and that's going to give me what? Making my opponent lose 2 life, I guess. Okay. They didn't have anything last time. Love that card. Gives a creature you control Death Touch, Lifelink, and when it dies, make a 2/2. Whenever you attack, target attacking goblin you control gets +1/+0. That does not seem that good. It is a goblin itself. I guess it attack. Oh, yeah. The funny thing is, the goblins having extra toughness is good for blight purposes, but prankster. This is sorcery, right? Yeah. Wait, that looks like a demon elf. She got like horns or something going on there. Alright, the Gut Splitter Gang. 4 mana, 6/6. No downside on first cast. And if they chump it, we can give it trample next turn. It's kind of terrifying. I will not attack here, or rather, I will not block here if they attack. Because now it's not worth it. Kolrath Zealot. They hit a land. Okay, so 6. Whoa. Oh, I have 2 triggers here. Actually, yeah, let's pay the green and transform. Mill 3, try to hit some elves. Did not hit an elf. I will not pay. And then I can attack with both, or I could actually just cleanse their zealot if I want to instead. Seems better. Just cleanse their zealot, and then they don't have any good blocks. But yeah, you notice the board changing. Chaos Spewer. 3 mana, 5/4. When it enters, you may pay 2. If you don't, you have to blight 2. Okay. So you can make it a 5 mana, 5/4. Goblin Warlock. That is a weird looking goblin. Attacking! Whoa. Marilyn! Eat some elves. Pay 3 life. Smack it in. And Tristan has Death Touch, so Death Touch Trample, kind of disgusting. Good. Alright, deck is performing. Let's go make that swap before I forget once again. Cut the Boggart and just run a random 4-drop, I think is fine. Or maybe I want to run another blue card. I guess I don't have that many good blue cards to splash for that I'm not already splashing for. I mean, I want this, but the triple black's too rough. This is also decent, I guess. Double green. Yeah, I'm just gonna run the elf. Okay, 3-0. I have very slow hand. Gut Splitter Gang gets quite a bit worse when you don't have early plays. Okay. Loch Mare. We'll read that after I grab an island here. 2 mana, 4/5, but it enters with 3/1/1 counters. Remove a counter from it, draw a card. Remove 2 counters from it, tap a creature, and put a stun counter. What the heck? That card's kind of absurd. And Blossom Binding it doesn't do anything, it just taps it. Loch Mare. Ooh, hello, Marilyn. Okay. So this is the cancel for full cost, or if you blight 2, you can cast it as a counter spell. The Eulogist. We milled 2 elves. Yay, we did it. We milled a scout and a wayfinder. Prisma Bastard just loves living in my graveyard. Come on, tap out. Whenever you cast a spell during an opponent's turn, you may pay 1 light if you draw a card. And then, yeah, okay, it's a good one. 2/3 flying. Upkeep effects. Noggle the Mind. Okay, so they're going to take away my mana. And it turns into a Noggle, notably. Well, you might wish that you had a removal spell for Marilyn now, though. Ooh, and I hit the removal. Nice. I mean, they have 6 cards in their hand. I'm going to assume they have a way to kill Marilyn, but we actually got to cast something off Marilyn, so that feels good. So we just want to draw an elf or a fairy. Those are the best draws while Maryland's on the board, but I mean Maryland is also just a 4/5 attacking. 5 mana 3/3 flash convoke merfolk. When it enters, return another non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Oh, nice, and they had the discard combo. Very cool. So they comboed the bounce with the Auntie's Sentence, taking the permanent from my hand. This was an all-star when I was playing my 5-color Vivid deck today on stream. Because it filters once per turn, but it also turns into that color. Yikes, that's a problem. Oh, I guess I don't have a creature to get back with that right now. Wow, we keep ripping hot. This returns a creature with mana value 3 or less. Okay. I mean, yeah, just need to turn off the lifelinker, I guess. So, Morkant's Loyalist here. 3 mana, 3/2, pumps my elves, and then when it dies, I can return Marilyn. Cool. Shimmer Creep, 3/5 menace for 5. When it enters, each opponent loses X, and you gain X, where X is the number of colors among permanents. Okay. Well, they have a good block, double block now. Oh, Marilyn. Honey. Cool. See if we can hit something for 2 mana or 1 mana again. Bloodline Bidding. Choose a creature type, return all creatures of the chosen type from your graveyard to the battlefield with Convoke. Wow. Alright, 4 mana, 6/6. Another Wicker. Oof, sick draw. Alright, I'll lose 3. Yeah, I'm drawing like a champion here. Pressure. And I think that's going to do her, friends. Nice. Yeah, we're running well. Deck's doing some good stuff here. This is going to end up exactly how I said it, huh? We're 4-0 right now. Win one more, it'll be an hour in, and we can sign off our sealed. Opponent goes first. That is a nice card. Wow, that is a very good hand. Dignitary revealing Tristan. Turn 3 Tristan, mill 3. Maybe mill an elf. Kind of running hot here. What is this? Mud Button Curse Tosser. 2-1 for 2, but it's got the Behold. When this dies, destroy creature and opponent controls a power 2 or less. Oh, that's super annoying. What the heck? And they have Nameless Inversion that they revealed. Oh my god. Wow, what an opener. Sheesh. That's crazy. Y'all remember Nameless Inversion from back in the day. One of the best removal spells in that format. Damn, that's wild. It's a nice blight target, too. You blight on top of it, and I'm going to reveal the cavalry. Blight on top of it to kill something. There's the inversion. Oh, I meant to play Island there. No big deal. The Callous Cultivator has arrived. Ooh, we milled some value. Milled our Stoic Grove Guide. Colors the elf, green and black? Yes, 2 colors. Okay, I mean, I'll block. Show me. They have the Death Touch trick. They have a second Nameless Inversion, but they had to 2-for-1 themselves there. Wow, 2 Nameless Inversions. Ooh. I guess I'm gonna 4-mana 6/6 them now. I have to imagine they're missing a color. Because going mono color and sealed would be extremely impressive. Yeah, there they go. Four mana 6/6. Whenever you cast a creature spell, draw a card? What on earth? Oh, I need a second green source really badly, don't I? Oh no. I need a second green source really, really badly. Damn, that one's nasty. Gangly Stompling, that's pretty funny. When this creatures enter, you may blight one. If you do, target opponent or each opponent discards a card. Alright, well, I don't care about that. I've got a spare island. No blocks. I'm at 9. There's the second forest. Okay. I mean, I'm going to risk it all for the biscuit here. They have something in their hand that's double green, or Priority's doing something weird. So if they have like the green punch effect, I lose. Obviously they could have any number of black removal spells. Oh, Midnight Tilling. No! Pitiless Fist kills me! Now they did have the punch effect too. Alright, good beats. Yeah, Champion of the Perfect is sicko. So the other play I could have made last turn is just to make 2 creatures out as blockers, but I liked forcing them to chump with their flyer. Alright, I think that's a good place to end it for this video. Some cool things were seen. Even for Sealed, we got to see a lot of the synergies within specific colors. And surprisingly, we actually had a pretty decent elf deck. We didn't have, you know, a ton of graveyard synergy, but we did have some number of graveyard synergy cards, and we saw them in play. And then we did get to activate Marilyn a couple times. Card is nice. All right, so there's our first look at Lorwyn Eclipsed. Like I said, I hope that the format has some play to it, and it's not just, you know, solved and we're getting tired of it by 50 drafts or whatever. Hopefully this is at least a 100 draft format. But we'll see you back next time. I'm going to try to record at least one more video of the early access event. Otherwise, you can catch my VODs from my YouTube live stream here. So make sure you check the live tab instead of videos. Go to live and go find the live streams I did of Lorwyn Eclipsed for early access before we get it fully released. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back next time. Bye-bye.